Assalamualikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you're all doing well in the best state of Iman and health. Let's inshallah look into our lesson. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma, Rabbi zidni ilma, Rabbi zidni ilma. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. From the lesson title of today, you all have understood that we are going to learn about WAQF. So let's understand the WAQF, what is the meaning of it, and why do we apply it, and what are the symbols of it, and how do we need to stop. So we need to learn this inshallah ta'ala in today's class. So let's begin with understanding the meaning of it. WAQF, it means to stop. Now I have given 3 reasons for you to learn WAQF. Number 1 is to pause for breath. Sometimes there is a lengthy ayat, okay, there is a long verse and you want to stop because you are falling short of breath. So you need to know the manner and you need to know the way wherever you are stopping, how do you stop in middle and how do you continue after stopping. Second one is to avoid change of meaning. There are few symbols in Quran that where you need to stop mandatory. If you don't stop, the meaning will change. Vice versa, there are certain symbol in the Quran where you need to continue mandatory, but if you stop there, you will make a mistake. So to avoid change of meaning, correct recitation and to avoid mistake. Now let's move ahead and see the symbols of WAQF which we find in the Quran and we understand and learn about it. So the first category is must stop. Here you have 2 symbols, that is meme and qaf. Wherever you find this in Quran, know that you need to stop mandatory. You cannot continue and read. If you continue and read, the entire meaning will change. Therefore, the first sign is of must stop. Second one is better to continue, where we have sod, lam, ya, ka and za. And next one is better to this one is better to continue and next one is better to stop, which is qaf lam ya. What do you mean by better to continue? Better to continue means it is advised for us to continue the verse without stopping. But if you are falling short of breath and you want to stop, you can stop. There is no harm. Same applies for better to stop. It is advisable to stop when you see this symbol. But if you want to continue, you can continue, there is no harm. Another thing that I would want to add into this is sometimes we get confused between swad lam ya and qaf lam ya, which one to stop, which one is better to stop and which one is better to continue. So here is a simple technique, okay. For swad lam ya, better to continue. In Urdu we say silsila chalta rahega, correct. So sin and swad, they are sounded very similar in Urdu. So refer the word of silsila to sod lam ya. That means silsila, continuation, sod lam ya. So this is here a technique for you to remember sod lam ya, that whenever you see the sign, it is better for you to continue. Qaf lam ya, how do you remember is you have the title of this lesson, WAQF, WAQF. Q you associate with qaf. Okay, if I ask you to write the spelling of qaf letter, you will write KHAWF or QAWF, anything, right? So her sound is coming, so it means to stop. So this is what you can take it as a technique to remember. Now look into the next one, stop or continue. We have 3 symbols there, swat, ta and jim. That means it is 50-50. You want to stop, you can stop. You want to continue, you can continue. Don't stop, that is lam and alif. Here you do not have to stop. You should never stop. You should always continue. If you stop, the entire meaning will change. Next one is seen, short pause, no breath. Here you need to remember 2 things. Whenever you are seeing the symbol seen, first one is it is a very short pause. You don't stay there while stopping for long, okay. Point number 1 is short pause. Second point is you don't break your breath. For example, if I have stopped, I take a breath. That is not something that we do here. You stop 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds, and then with the same breath that you are holding, you continue the entire verse. So there are 2 points for us to remember, short pause and no breath. Next one is stop only on one. by this 3 dots and 3 dots, you understand like how we write therefore in English. It is, so, for you to remember, you can take the help of that reference, but this is not called as therefore, so don't call this as therefore symbol. It's just for you to remember. Okay, there are three dots and then 3 dots. So how do you implement this? If you are stopping on the first pair of 3 dots, the first set of 3 dots, you continue on the second set of 3 dots. If you are continuing, or if you are stopping at the first set of 3 dots, or then if you're stopping at first set of 3 dots, then you need to continue in the second set of 3 dots. This is something that we will learn inshallah ta'ala in Surah Al-Baqarah when we are starting. So do not worry of the symbols. Inshallah ta'ala, when we are reading our surahs, we will also consider the symbols of waqf so that we imply the same. Let's move ahead and look into additional waqf to learn. Now, sometimes what happens is you are not having any symbol or any sign of waqf, okay, but still you need to stop because you cannot hold your breath much more times. So there are again other things that you need to remember, that you need to consider if you are stopping. So the first one is golta. Golta is a very special alphabet in Arabic. Why? Because it carries 2 sounds with it depending upon the situation that demands. If the situation is demanding that the letter golta needs to be continued, needs to be pronounced, then we are going to give it the sound of ta. But if the situation is demanding that we stop on golta, we do not continue, we waqf on golta, then the sound will change into gol ha. That a very simple ha that we have learnt in our pronunciation classes. So look into the slide. While reading, we read by pronouncing ta. While stopping, we read by pronouncing ha. What do I mean? Let's understand with the example. Look at this verse. فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. Look into the word عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. What I'm doing when I'm continuing, when I'm saying عِيشَةٍ, I'm giving the golta as, I'm reading golta as ta. عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. How am I stopping in the end? I am stopping with ha sound. Yeah. I am not stopping with radiyat. Am I stopping with radiyat? No. I'm stopping as radiyah. So golta is very special. Remember this example for your ease. When you are reading with continuation, raishatir, it will be ta sound. If you are stopping, it will be ha sound. Radiyah in the end. Okay, that's how you end and conclude if you're stopping on the golta. Let's move ahead with the tanween. You need to also know tanween. How do you stop on the tanween? Tanween means double fatha, double kasra, double z. That is do zabar, do z, do pesh. So even let's look into this aspect as well. Now to your left, there are examples of continuation of recitation of tanween. To your right is your example, the same verse I have taken. To your right, there is the same verse I have taken that you need to stop. Okay, left side is your continuation, right side is to stop. So let's look into double fatha, that is do zabar example. وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا. Dobhan is what we read if you are continuing. Okay, how do we stop? وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا. This is how we stop. What is happening here? We are reading only one zabar. We are dropping one zabar and we are reading only one zabar when we are stopping. Okay. Now let's look into the double kasra, that is double zir example. Min alfi shahrin. Rin is what we read because ra is having double kasra, do zir. Okay. How do we stop? Min alfi shahr. What is happening here? Ra with double kasra, that is do zir, is being replaced with sakin. If you look into the text, there is no double zir, do zir present below the letter ra when you are stopping. Why? Because it is replaced with sakin, that is jazm. So the entire ra is going to be muted when you are going to have tanween kasra, that is do zir. Next example, falahum ajrun. Again, this is tanween, this is going to be your do pesh. How do we stop? Falahum ajr. What is happening? The same case that of do zer. The ra with do pesh is removed and we are getting sakin on the letter ra. We are completely silencing it with sakin. How do we conclude this part of lesson? We conclude by understanding that whenever you're stopping on tanween fatah, you drop one zabar, that is you drop one fatah and read one fatah. But when you are coming across tanween kasra or tanween damma, that is do zer or do pesh, the entire alphabet that is carrying the tanween will be replaced with sakin. It will be completely silenced only when you are stopping. So this is your lesson for today. I hope you all have understood. Let's look into the homework. The homework is for you to memorize the lesson, apply throughout the course and even in your daily recitation. Along with this, there is also another homework that I would like to give you. The homework would be that you give me examples of golta. Okay, get me 3 examples of golta. Okay, and stopping and continuing is something that you are going to explain me. 3 examples of continuation and 3 examples of stopping. That is 6 examples of golta. Exclude the example that I have mentioned in the slide today. Okay, again for the tanween also, get me 3 examples of each. That is tanween fatah, tanween damma and then tanween kasra. Okay, stopping and continuation, just like how I put in the example slide, right? To your left it is continuation, to your right it's your stopping. The same you need to represent me with 3 examples of each. So this will be your homework. If you have any doubts, do let me know. Jazakallah khair, barakallahu feekum. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.